Good evening, distinguished guest faculty and graduates. Welcome to the Harvard edition of Public Health Virtual Graduation Ceremony on 16 April 2020. I'm Anisa Vioni Putri. I'll be your host for today, and it's my pleasure to commemorate this special moment with you. Congratulations to the class of 2020. You are finally arrived here in the middle of a global pandemic in which we meet and hold this ceremony virtually. The class of 2020 have definitely experienced a very different final year schooling, and we commend each one of you for your efforts and understanding. Our ceremony live stream will begin with opening remarks from Michelle A. Williams, Dean of Faculty, followed by student speaker Nadira Abiba, and Dean for Student Service, Robin Glover. We will then announce the name of graduating class of 2020. But first, join me in welcoming Dean Michelle A. Williams.
Congratulations, class of 2020. You've officially made it. Even though we aren't physically together, it's wonderful to be here with you, your proud professors, and your family and friends who've logged on from all over the world. When you first stepped on campus, maybe you imagined what your graduation day would feel like. Perhaps you envisioned sitting outside on a lovely spring day, listening to your commencement speaker. Maybe you even pictured holding and huddling within 6 feet of your classmates for photos, being handed your diploma without having to have hand sanitizer available. And perhaps you imagined hugging endlessly your family and friends after the ceremony. You probably didn't foresee what has come to pass for your graduation or for the world you've graduated into. Our community has long feared a global pandemic like COVID-19, but few predicted that today the world would be engulfed in the worst public health crisis in a century, that a novel virus would infect more than 2 million people around the globe and claim the lives of more than 150,000. That our way of life would be completely upended and in some inevitable ways altered forever. But you have risen to this unprecedented occasion in ways that have humbled us as teachers and as administrators. I don't just mean the way you've adapted to the new normal, abruptly moving off campus, finishing your degrees in isolation, defending your dissertations via Zoom. More than that, you've gone from pupils to practitioners, literally overnight. By now, most of you have heard me say that public health is everywhere and nowhere. What I mean is that the work we do is critical and yet so often invisible outside of our own field. We all take the cleanliness of our water for granted until there's a contamination crisis. We don't give food supply chains much thought until the grocery store shelves are empty. We commute on the T without thinking about what pathogens might be traveling along for the ride. Well, no longer. Today, public health is everywhere. It's on the top of mind for nearly every person in nearly every country around the globe. The issues and topics you've studied, virology, epidemiology, environmental justice, immunology, food security, and social determinants of health have come into glaring focus for all to see. Luckily, your expertise puts you in a unique position to help the world respond, and so many of you have jumped into that response already. Alongside professors, researchers, and alumni, Harvard Chan School students are mining data to develop strategies for continuing to flatten the curve. You're researching new ways to fight the many ripple effects of this crisis. You've started groups like Students Against COVID-19 to share guidance with the public and to squash misinformation. Hundreds of you have joined a volunteer task force to support the Massachusetts Department of Health. And countless more of you are part of our frontline healthcare workforce, putting yourselves into harm's way to save the lives of others. Everything you've studied during your time here has made you capable public health leaders. But it's the way you stepped up in the face of this crisis that will make you an exceptional class. And because of it, your class will be remembered for generations to come. You'll be the public health graduates who've lived through the worst public health crisis for the past 100 years. And you will be recognized as the class who used that experience to innovate and to develop solutions to the most pressing challenges we face. Challenges ranging from combating infectious disease, to addressing climate change, to improving the lives of billions across the globe. It has been my honor to serve as your dean and to do so alongside each and every one of you. One day, when this crisis is in the rearview mirror, we will all come back together in person. And when we do, it will be for a celebration for the ages. Until then, I am rooting for each and every one of you. And I am so proud of all of you for all that you have and will do to make the world a healthier and more just place. To you, I congratulate you, the class of 2020.
Thank you, Dean Michelle, for the gracious speech. And now it's my pleasure to introduce this year's student speaker, Nadira Afifa. She was selected by a panel of students, staff, and faculty to represent the graduating class. Nadira is receiving a Master of Public Health degree from Department of Global Health and Population Concentration in Nutrition. Please join me in welcoming Nadira Afifa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings to Dean Williams, faculty, staff, and alumni, and to the class of 2020. Congratulations! Congratulations to our parents, friends, and loved ones without whom today would not be as special, as it is a day we have all earned and should cherish together. Let me ask you a question. How many of you, when you were little and you were asked what you wanted to do, said public health professional? Me neither, yet we end up here. I would never forget the first day of orientation at the school. I ate my lunch in the bathroom stall with my feet on the toilet seat so no one would know that I was there. Back then, I was so afraid of everything. Above all, the coffee breaks. I was so nervous about having to do the small talk. I didn't know what to say. I was afraid of saying something wrong. I was afraid of being seen different. Even by just wearing a hijab, I already made my identity clear without even need to tell anyone what I believe in. I had seen a lot of news around Islamophobia and it concerned me. However, it was just my second week at school when my perception began to change. I found a praying room downstairs. Surprisingly, Harvard provides us with a very convenient praying room equipped with all things we need for praying. What made it even more special? It was my Jewish friend who showed me the room because he saw me praying under the emergency stairs. Equality, inclusivity, unity. I cannot think of any better place I could learn it all but here. Little by little, Harvard Chan and all people inside has become my new home, 10,000 miles away from my original one. Albeit slowly, I came back to be a confident person my mom has raised me to be. Mama has always been the one who inspires me. She's the youngest of 11 siblings, born and raised by farmers in a rural Sumatran island in Indonesia. Farmers' kids didn't go to school those days. Her sisters and brothers worked very hard to get Mama to college, and she didn't take it for granted. When I was a kid, Mama taught me an important lesson in life. Dream high, because our only limits is our minds. That is what keeps her going through the tough times. Despite being underprivileged, Mama has raised 3 children who all completed master's degrees. The value that Mama taught me keeps echoing all my life. She has raised me from a student in a small town in Indonesia to a graduate from the best public health school in the world. However, I will not stop here. Today is only the beginning of our bigger journey, and I encourage you all to promise that we will not stop ourselves to live higher, contribute more, and make an impact to the world through public health. Public health provides us with the privilege to save the lives of millions and improve the health and longevity of generations and generations to come. It is only through public health that we can see now the entire countries have been forgetting their differences and pooling their resources. Beneath the gloomy, dramatic coronavirus headlines, there are countless tales of collaborations and dedications. At this time of crisis, we realize that no matter how privileged we are, or no matter where we come from, we are exposed to the same risk that only through helping each other we will survive. For a moment, people are united through public health efforts despite the difference in ethnicity, nationality, or spirituality. My sisters and brothers, you have chosen to be here today because you are called to serve, to dignify the lives of people you've never even met or you may never ever meet. So, let me change the question. How many of you, now that you finished Harvard, will proudly say, I'm glad to be a public health professional? Class of 2020, welcome to the often exciting, sometimes exhausting, rarely appreciated, but always important world of public health. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadira, for the great speech. And now, please welcome Robert Glover to announce the name of graduating class of 2020.
It now gives me the great honor to read the names of the graduating class of 2020. Doctor of Philosophy, Biological Sciences and Public Health, Sergi Brutus, Vanessa Biles, Nathan Hicks, Christine Whirling, Science Health Data Science, Dong Xingjiang Ann, Rofan Bai, Maya Garbolinska, Lucy Jallet, Wei Hung Shu, Jingyi Hong, Sakari Chakarainen, Erica Ann Morera, Jacob Rosenthal, Matthew Samuel, Kangli Wu, Yufan Wu, Master of Science Health Policy and Management, Haitham Showman, Master of Science Social and Behavioral Sciences, Ryoski Fakuda, Master of Public Health, Richard Abitra, Liza Abraham, Patrick Acuna, Nadera Afifa, Akambanji Afalabi, Zain Ahmed, Alu Washe Fami Akarja, Harriet Safia Akanor, Pamela Alebna, Yusuf Alaganim, Manal Alamari, Samin Unsari, Ajua Anyani Yaboa, Famiko Ioki, Rachel Winbish Applewhite, Joaquim Ignacio Armadano, Brittany Arnold, Amanda Arbel, David Avila.
Thank you, Robin Glover. But last, let's take the opportunity to thank everyone who helped support our graduates in realizing their dreams.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, deep breath in and out. Thanks for letting me rearrange my hours so I could go back to school.
Thank you for inspiring me every single day.
Ladies and gentlemen, this marked the end of our program. Thank you for being with us in Virtual Graduation 2020. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2020. You are officially graduates.